Hi, I'm Erica Ramirez, founder of Illy and host of What About Your Friends, a brand new show on the Ringer Podcast Network dedicated to the many lives of friendship and how it's portrayed in pop culture. Every Wednesday on the Ringer Dish feed, I'll be talking with my best friend, Stephen Othello, and your favorites from within the Ringer and beyond about friendships on TV, in movies, pop culture, and our real lives. So join me every Wednesday on the Ringer Dish feed, where we try to answer the question TLC asked back in the day, what about your friends?
This episode is brought to you by Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. All right, it's official. I think I've discovered the ultimate coupling of all time. Like any good relationship, they really balance each other out. One is super sweet, and the other, well, they can be a little nutty sometimes. It is, of course, Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, the perfect combination of peanut butter and chocolate. So perfect, some would call it true love. Find Reese's now at a store near you. This episode is brought to you by Visible. Maybe you've already let your New Year's resolution slip. We all have, but you can still make a 2 year's resolution with Visible. Right now, you can get a one-line wireless plan from Visible for just $20 per month for 24 months. 24 months is basically 4 Bachelor seasons. That could be 4 engagements, 4 broken engagements, so many other couples we didn't see coming. It's really an eternity in Bachelor Nation. And that's unlimited 5G data powered by Verizon with no annual contracts. Switch now at Visible.com and use the code VISIBLE24. Don't miss out. Offer ends January 31st. New members only. Promotional rate with service on the Visible plan. For additional terms and network management practices, see Visible.com. Welcome to Bachelor Party. I'm Juliet Litman. It's hometown week. They did it, people. They went to fucking New York City for hometown. Ooh. Can't wait to discuss it. I'm here, as always, with Callie Curry. Callie, hello.
Hi.
Lots to break down. We got 4 hometowns. I just wanted to issue a warning right now. We talked about this on Thursday, me and Jared Freed. So the warning persists. We are going to talk about the rumor for Bachelorette. It's a less damning rumor now because of what we've seen tonight on this show. But that will be coming up later on. So spoiler warning. Also, just another note, don't forget to listen to the Ringer Reality TV podcast, where we will be continuing to monitor the Scandoval for the indefinite future. Callie, did you and Rachel talk about it on Friday? You must have.
It took up like 80% of our podcast.
Yeah, I mean, it's outrageous. Ariana went to Mexico. She's living it up. Mexico. Yeah, she looked great.
It really made me happy because she looked great. She was dancing, smiling. Obviously, I'm sure she's still like upset. I don't even know what she's feeling.
Sure.
Yeah, devastated, and probably doesn't even know what's next. Like, there's just so many things that have to happen.
I mean, the fact that they're both still living in the house, awful.
Well, I mean, where are they supposed to go?
Also, you can't leave. I just watched the show about divorce called The Split. It's a British show. It's on Hulu. It's really good. And it's about divorce lawyers. And the one character is like, you can never leave the house. Do not give it up. Do not cede possession of the house. So it's going to get messy.
Look at Lisa Hochstein or whatever her name is.
Oh, Hochstein. Yeah. On Miami. Anyway, that's all on the Ringer Reality TV podcast. Check it out. We are here to talk about The Bachelor. We got 4 hometowns. We went to Vermont with Gabby, Austin with Katie, Columbus, Georgia with Charity, and New York City with Ariel. There's a lot to discuss. I feel I need to discuss Ariel first. So is that okay?
I knew you were going to say that. I knew it.
There's just a lot we need to get off.
Let's dive in.
Our chest. First of all, she's very pretty. However, the way she dresses, I'm just like, what year is she in? Like, it could be like any year. Like, is it 1998? Is it 2004?
The way that she dresses?
Yeah.
That's what's steering you that way, or the way she talks?
Both. She's just sort of an enigma. I don't know. I'm confused by her.
I thought when we went to New York, first of all, I don't know if I knew she was from New York.
Yeah.
Maybe I just she doesn't I'm not, now that I know she's from New York, I'm like, sure, I guess that makes sense. But I wouldn't have guessed that. But I was thinking, where would I have guessed? I don't know if I would have guessed Earth.
Yeah. She does have just like a very specific vibe that I can't quite put my finger on.
By the way, I don't dislike her vibe.
I like her. Yeah, I
don't dislike her vibe. I like her, but I'm just like, I can't figure out who Like who would, when you go to college and a big school, you have to be able to find your people, right?
Yeah.
Like there's every type of group. I don't know which group I would send her to.
Like, what are the options?
Like, there's the sporty people, there's the smart people, there's the sorority girl, there's the journalism school, there's the partiers, there's the popular group. Like, she seems nerdy, but like not.
Yeah, I think she's
nerdy
not.
in a good. By the way, I'm saying nerdy in a good way.
Yeah,
not like in a bad way. I'm just like, you don't really fit into. I don't really know where to put you in my mind.
I think she's just kind of like a cool girl, and I think that's not to be biased. I think that's her New York City-ness of it, which she's just sort of like.
But like, do you think other people think she's cool?
I'm not sure, but she went to Trevor Day for high school. Which is a New York City private school, which is like a real rich kid school, first of all.
Really rich kid school.
Yeah, really, really rich kid. And I think that's sort of part of it, where you're just sort of like, it's a New York thing, in my opinion.
That gives me more context, actually. I think you said that before on this podcast that she went to Trevor Day.
Yeah, she did. It's on her LinkedIn. That's how I know that. And I think that like the inability to like put a finger on what's her deal is the New Yorkness of her. And also like clearly her Ukrainian heritage is also like a big part of her as she presents herself. And so I think that's a piece of it as well.
Also, I think to your point, I feel like I don't know her.
We don't know her at all. And so I was just looking up if she...
All I know is that she's really pretty and comes across very smart.
Yes. And I think she is both of those things. But I was wondering if she had gone to NYU, because the tour of New York that she gave to Zach was like basically just NYU area. She was like, this is the Village, and now we're going to the West Village. And she takes him to a pizza place on McDougal Street. They go to like random speakeasy. She takes him to Sarge's, the deli, and makes him eat tongue, which, by the way, tongue is on like every Jewish deli menu, but I've never had it. Like, I don't think that it's like everyone has tongue.
I did think to myself, has Juliet ate this before?
I have not. And I have a lot of Jewish deli experience in my life.
I think that's a great pod for you. You and Jacoby. Go get some tongue.
That's a good idea. I like that. Thanks, Callie. Good idea.
That's the only tongue that I approve of having in your mouth.
How did you like make it through dating with such an aversion to French kissing?
Fake it till you make it. Then once you make it, you're like,
no thanks.
No.
I will say, watching people kiss with tongue on Love Island is scarring. So there's that. But
someone tweeted me and was like, how do you personally get through these kissing challenges? And I'm like, it's really rough.
It's disgusting.
It's rough.
The kissing sounds are brutal. If I'm in a bad mood, I find it particularly irritating. It's like having like nails on a chalkboard for me. Anyway, yeah, we know so little about her. It's like we know about like her personality, I guess, kind of, but we don't really know like what she's into. Don't know anything about her job. She went to GW, by the way, for college, in case anyone was wondering. She did not go to NYU. But I don't know. I was sort of a little bit like, I was like, will they just be playing on Jewish stereotypes? And the Jewish deli thing, it's not really a stereotype. I was fine with it. Zach just seems like he's never been a Jewish person before, which just seems really hard to do being from Southern California. But I guess it happens. And then
but he's from
Anaheim.
Yeah.
But whatever. It's not far from Los Angeles. Orange County definitely has Jewish people, like Heather Dubrow. But they didn't show her family's home. And I think probably because it's like too hard to film in an apartment would be my guess. It's like not a lot of space. You probably have to get approval. It just probably like wouldn't work.
I think if you live in a condo, it would be really, really hard. But if she lives in a townhouse, I don't think it'd be that hard.
I doubt she lives in a townhouse. I agree. I think if she lived in a townhouse, we would see that. But also I think you have to get like building approval very often. And I don't know. Just seems like
a condo.
Or a co-op, yeah.
I actually really wanted to see her house.
Me too. I also wanted to know what area she lived in. I couldn't really tell. And then he said they went to a Brooklyn winery for their dinner or whatever. And I couldn't really figure out where that was either. There's a few options. I was like, are they in Dumbo? They probably were, but I couldn't really tell.
I have no idea. But then that made me think, is her family from Brooklyn?
Maybe, because they're immigrants. And I think there's a big Ukrainian population here in Brooklyn, where we both reside currently. Anyway, I was just was wondering if they were going to do like a Harry Met Sally thing, because the first scene in New York is Sally dropping off Harry at the arch at Washington Square Park. But it was like pretty generic. It wasn't offensive, wasn't inoffensive, but we just learned nothing about her except that her sister is mute. I was very confused about who the third person was in her sit downs.
I thought the speakeasy thing was very random.
Totally. Like, did she like going there?
She was like, we're going to, where'd she say? Like a coffee shop or something? Mm-hmm. And then they walked in and he was like, this is not a coffee shop. And she was like, it's not. It's a speakeasy. And I was just like, okay. Do you like going to speakeasies? Like, what's the point of this?
I know. I don't know. It's just like a filming location for them to go to. It seemed cheap. I don't know. I've never heard of that. Then, like, what did they even do there? They had like a cocktail and sat at a booth.
Also, maybe I'm wrong. I wouldn't necessarily say that, like, is New York known for their speakeasies?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, I'm like, what is this? It's so random.
It's known for, like, in terms of food and beverage, it's known for, I would say, bodegas, dive bars, and I don't know, clubs. I don't know. It's just, it has everything, but it's not like a speakeasy scene.
Yeah.
We got to talk about her brother.
I really liked his line of questioning.
Me too. Some of the questions he asked. Do you even know her middle name? I loved it.
I do agree with Zach, though, also. And that, like, me knowing her middle name is not going to, like, make or break anything for us. But I like the brother's point. Like, you're going to get engaged to someone and, like, you literally know nothing about her. You don't know her birthday. And instead of being like, no, I don't know, Zach was like, well, you know what? I'm going to challenge. And I'm like, yeah, that means no, you don't know the answers to these questions at all.
Zach was very passive with every family. He let the woman sort of like explain everything and like take the lead. And then he would chime in occasionally. But he was very, very passive. Didn't really seem like he was trying that hard. I guess he tried the hardest with Katie.
Usually after this episode, well, first of all, we both think Katie's winning. So there's that. But usually after this episode, you're like, oh, it's definitely this person based on like the family performance. But afterwards, I was like, oh, I didn't even know who he's sending home. I was like, I have no idea who he's sending home.
Yeah, he acted the same with all of them.
Same. I thought maybe Ariel because of his family.
No one was ready to say I'm falling in love. Everyone was like, I think I will be falling in love soon. It was hilarious.
Also, it was a lot of I'm currently in process.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's not a thing. Like, I hate when people say that. I'm like, oh, you're in line. You're in line to fall in love. Soon it'll be your turn at the register and you're going to have to make a decision. Like, how do you know if you're mid-fall?
I have no idea. Like, what does it feel like? Like, do you have like a tingling in your fingers or does something happen? I have no idea. Like, what do they even mean when they say that? Like, I'm having a good time and I can see this going deeper. Or I have no idea.
I feel like the correct thing would be like, I could see myself falling in love with you. And then one day you're just like, I think I love him. But there's not like, I am currently midair. I've been in there for about 10 seconds. I have about 5 more till I hit the ground and I'm in love. Like, I am currently about to fall in love. I am about to jump out of the plane. Like, it's just the logistics of how they fall in love on the show is insane.
I don't even know what they think they mean when they say that. They're just like, I'm not ready to break up. Well, I'm not ready for it to be over.
I think they think they have to say it, right?
Well, yeah, because if you're getting engaged, then you have to be in love.
And we're 2 weeks away from that, or 3?
Yeah, I think 2.
Okay.
So it's tough. They got to figure it out. They got to figure it out soon.
Yeah, I don't. Can we say? We can both say pretty. I think you've said it for a while, and I have not been on your side, and now I think I am. After this episode, I'm like, whoever he chooses, they're not together anymore.
No, I mean, I don't know. If he chooses Katie, I could see them still being together. The fact that they both live in Austin is a huge, huge boon. They can avoid having to make some big decisions, and they get to actually date, which is why, like, the Love is Blind universe shows, I think, are good because they take people who live in the same city. And so the fact that I want to talk about
Married
her
at
date
First
too.
Sight.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I was gonna say, we can segue into her date. Were you confused at all when she was like, I just moved here?
Yes, they made it seem like she's like been established there, but she obviously isn't. However,
No, but I think she has. No,
did she just get a new apartment?
Said, that's what I think. Like, I think they made it seem like she moved there literally a week ago, but then they went to her family's home, and I'm like, oh wait, so is it just because then they had like their date was like moving her into her apartment, so I was like, oh, so is it that she just moved into her place? So the clip of her saying, I moved here a week ago meant like I moved to my place a week ago? Because you can't say you're from Austin.
Yeah. Well, she's Canadian. She's from Ontario, which I think you could hear. I like started noticing her accent this week. And she's a travel nurse. So it's possible that she's been traveling around a lot the last few years, especially with COVID and stuff. But I don't know. Maybe it is just a new apartment. And that's what she's talking about. But it was definitely
very confusing.
Very confusing. I mean, she has pictures of herself in Texas from like a year ago. So I think she moved in April of 2022 based on her Instagram.
But like her mom?
That could have been a rented location. Sometimes they do that. And we didn't see a lot of it.
So you don't think her mom lives there?
Not convinced, no.
Okay. I don't think I'm not betting money on that.
We didn't see a lot in the house.
During the episode, I was trying to figure it all out. Because when she said a week ago, I was like, but it says she's from Texas.
It's probably a new apartment, you're right, but she moved to Texas a year ago. She's Canadian.
Okay. Do you say you're from someplace that you moved to a year ago?
No, but I mean, I'm also not on The Bachelor. So it's not like it's a normal.
I mean, she also kept calling it home. And I'm like,
I think she's playing to win. I think she's in it to win it. She's going along with it. Plus, she really likes him. But one thing I have to say, like a year and a half ago, Jared, my friend and recurring guest on this podcast, we talked about like what they should do on the show instead. And two of our ideas were, one, go to IKEA and put together furniture. And two, go to a grocery store, both of which they did on Katie's date.
And were you satisfied? Because it's really boring to me.
It was super boring. But I would have liked...
So bad ideas, Juliet and Jared. Not what we want to see.
Good idea, bad execution. I just feel like they didn't make it seem hard or fun. There was no tension leading up to it. But I liked that they did do regular things instead of like something completely fake, like trying to get syrup from a tree and make sexual innuendos.
Go to a speakeasy.
Yeah, just like sit alone in an empty speakeasy.
Very weird.
There's few things more awkward than being alone in a bar when it's like also daytime and there's just no one else around. It's not an environment where you're supposed to be alone. Like it feels off if there's not more people.
I'm not sure if I've done that a lot, but I agree with you. I will say Katie's mom was one of my faves on this episode. I had two standout faves and she was one of them.
Loved her mom as well. Also loved her look, loved her glasses. I thought she just like looked like a great normal person.
Also, she seemed to like, she didn't seem nervous, but like she seemed very much herself. Like it didn't seem like her mom was trying to be anything other than who she is. And you could genuinely see how much they mean to each other. And I love that.
Yeah, it was really sweet. She clearly cares about her family. One thing I liked about her mom was that her mom was like clearly had doubts and was like, this is not normal. This is weird. But she was not completely against it. Like she didn't seem like she was playing a part the way that Ariel's family did, where I was just like, they just tell them to like act crazy or something with her brother to like cross-examine him. But her family seemed way more natural and had like concerns, but we're also like, well, this is the show. You chose to do it. Might as well get on board if you're happy. And I like that for sure.
Yeah, her mom was like, I know you want to hear from me that I think this is the best thing for you ever. And she's essentially like, I'm not going to say that. But he's nice. He's sweet. He's kind. Like, everything looks good. You seem like you're happy. Like, from the 2 minutes that I get, great. But like, I can't tell you that I think this is the best decision ever.
Yeah, it was sweet how her mom was like, I know that you want my approval. And like, I feel like she handled it really well. She seems like a great mom.
Really does. Also, like how excited she was to like see her. And when they finally got like their one-on-one time, she was just like, oh my gosh. Like, it just made me think about, because, you know how a lot of people cry on this show when they see their family?
Yeah.
I see my family compared to my friends an abnormal amount. Most of my friends, if you don't live in the same city as your parents, see their family maybe once or twice a year.
Yeah.
I don't even know how many times I see them. Probably over 20 times a year am I seeing family members, probably more than that. And I never thought that was abnormal until a friend like brought it up to me. And I was like, oh yeah, I guess that is weird.
Were they like confronting you or just pointing it out?
No, I think they were just, I don't know what I said. I said something about seeing my family or whatever. And they were like, yeah, but you see your family way more than normal. And I was like, what?
I see my family a lot too.
It. But you live in the same city as them.
But when I didn't, I would see them like...
You still came back?
10 times a year.
That's a lot.
Yeah. Well, I love my family. What can I say?
But if I went 2 months without like seeing, and I guess you don't really talk to them,
you
right?
Can't contact
like, do you get to talk to them? Talk to them at all? I was just thinking, I'm like, would I cry? I don't know. I think it's weird. Also, I'm like, a lot of you probably don't see your family that much. So like, cry?
I think so. You're in like
you weren't like at war.
I know, but they do try to like play mind games with you. So it's like really overwhelming and you're like something that like grounds you back to reality. You're basically thrown into like a snow globe and it's like shook up every day to try to like make you reactive. So when you get to see your family, it's really nice. I would assume.
Yeah. I mean, do you talk to your parents every day?
No, but most days.
Yeah. I talk to my mom like 7 times a day, probably. And my dad probably every other day. But I was just thinking, I feel like that was probably be the hardest part, is to go like 2 months without talking to my mom. And when I was seeing Katie with her mom, I'm like, they definitely talk every day.
Yeah, and it's sweet.
Because her mom was just like, you have to catch me up on so much. Like, I felt like her mom was just like, this is nuts. Like, I've never gone this long without talking to you.
Yeah, it was really sweet. The other thing I liked about Katie was when she looked at the camera and she was like, every man in my life has failed me. And I was just like, I think a lot of women feel that way, especially if you had your father fail you. So I thought that was real. And I liked seeing Katie be real.
What about her brother?
She said, except for my brother.
Oh, I was like, wait, I thought she had a good relationship with her brother.
No, she does. She said, except for my brother, every man in my life has failed me. Relatable.
I did not think that was relatable. I thought it was really sad.
It is really sad, but I do think that's unfortunately not a completely uncommon sentiment. Listen, a lot of men suck.
I think that's even sadder.
It is
more sad.
I think it can be relatable and sad.
Yeah.
I have many great men in my life, so I don't feel that way. But I think that there are people who feel that way.
Obviously. Yeah.
Katie included. Do you think Zach seemed into her?
Katie?
Yeah.
I think Katie does no wrong in Zach's eyes.
I don't think he was into the apartment shit. He was like really bad at putting that together.
I don't think he liked that date. He's like, are you just using me? Ha ha ha. But
I mean,
like,
I would be annoyed. Like, I'm the Bachelor. Why am I putting together furniture? But
why am I changing a light bulb? Yeah, I think he was just like, this is a dumb date. But I think that Katie,
she's got it in the bag. There's just no one else who comes close. There's nothing else close.
I thought Gabby was close, but after this week, I'm like,
no. Also, I think their date was arguably the worst. The drilling into the tree and like the sexual innuendos. They make a lot of sexual innuendos together.
In general, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like their humor.
Yeah. He's so uncomfortable with it. It's hilarious.
Well, we'll talk about that. Also, I hated that. So we're moving on to Gabby now. I hated that she was like, I used to do this all the time as a kid and then like didn't know what she was doing.
I'm sure that's completely not true. Also, I don't think you can just, as the evidence, you can just like drill a hole and there's syrup there. I don't think that's how it works.
You know what I don't know how it works at all. I'm not an outdoors person. Couldn't tell you. But I did think while watching this, I was like, this really reminds me of Luke from Summer House.
Oh, Luke. Ashleigh's Luke. Tayshia's Luke.
Well, yeah, apparently not Ashleigh's anymore, which I guess he's all over Bachelor franchise today. But yeah, I was thinking when I was watching it, I was just like, Luke always talks about like, oh, I did this, I did that. But like, we're like, did you actually make fucking syrup? I would like to see you make syrup, Luke. And when she was like, I did this all the time as a kid. And then when she started doing it, I was like, did you?
Yeah. Do you have any idea what you're doing? It was just
looks like you're just fingering a tree right now.
Which is gross.
Yeah.
They basically were. And where she's from is like really in the middle of nowhere. I was just like, wow, it's a real hike to get there. I was like, I must have had to drive a long way after flying.
She kept saying that. She kept being like, I wouldn't have brought you all the way out here. I wouldn't have you trek out here. Welcome to Vermont, blah, 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 blah. I was just like, okay, like,
it's like,
where do you live?
It's like really not near anything. It's like near the New York Vermont border, kind of. It's like, it really is the middle of like the country, middle of the woods.
Nowhere.
I'm sure it's beautiful.
It look pretty.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. Vermont's really nice, but it really is like remote. So I understand why she left. It's crazy to think about how she went from like remote Vermont to Ole Miss. That's got to be a real culture shock.
I will say, Ole Miss is a beautiful campus.
Never been. I heard they have some nice bookstores.
You don't have to.
In Oxford, Mississippi. One nice bookstore called Square Books.
I would be very interested to go into that bookstore. I feel like there's a lot of books that have been banned in Mississippi.
That's a great point. I think Faulkner used to go there. Anyway, I don't even remember her family. Her sister seemed fine. She and her sister were really close, and they wanted to get married at the same time and like do life together.
Oh, so, yeah.
If you're marrying one, you're really marrying both.
Her sister did seem really excited. She was like, I got to get her back. We did the wedding cake taste testing, which I really don't remember doing at all. I know I did. I don't remember it.
One indication to me that Zach does like her a lot is that she really started freaking out at the end of their date. But like, I just wish you could stay here. I just want to make sure everything's going to be okay. And usually Zach, that's a send home when that happens, when you start doubting if he likes you. And he actually handled that better than he's handled anyone else's emotional crisis. But I have to assume over time he won't be able to withstand that because he hates that kind of pressure. But she really was like spiraling. It was kind of sad.
But I also think she was spiraling because she wanted to say she was falling in love. Like she kept trying to say the sentence and like wouldn't fully go
Couldn't get there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's like, I just miss you so much. I just want you to stay because I just need to see you again.
Yeah. Don't forget about me.
Just say you're falling in love with him. Say you're in the process. Say you're in line.
I'm waiting in line to fall in love with you. I'll be in this line. Yeah. It's like when
I'm
people
boarding.
Like, if you're in line to vote, stay in line. She's like, I'm in line for you, Zach. The polls won't close.
No. She's like, I'm boarding the plane, but I'm in zone 7. I'm not a military person. I don't have kids. Yeah. I didn't upgrade to exit row. So you got to just wait for a few more episodes.
I'd never upgrade to exit row. I'm too afraid. I'm like, I just feel like it's like tempting fate that like if I'm in the exit row, the plane will crash.
Oh God.
I have a lot of plane fears, irrational ones.
You've said that they've gotten worse.
Yes, they really have. This episode is brought to you by Visible. Maybe you've already let your New Year's resolution slip. We all have, but you can still make a 2 year's resolution with Visible. Right now, you can get a one-line wireless plan from Visible for just $20 per month for 24 months. 24 months is basically 4 Bachelor seasons. That could be 4 engagements, 4 broken engagements. So many other couples we didn't see coming. It's really an eternity in Bachelor Nation. And that's unlimited 5G data powered by Verizon with no annual contracts. Switch now at Visible.com and use the code VISIBLE24. Don't miss out. Offer ends January 31st. New members only. Promotional rate with service on the Visible plan. For additional terms and network management practices, see Visible.com. This episode is brought to you by eBay Authenticity Guarantee. eBay knows that when it comes to jewelry, authenticity is the real gem. When you see the blue check mark that says Authenticity Guarantee, it means your next piece will be carefully inspired by jewelry experts and will always be worth its weight in gold. Whether you're looking to make a statement or build the perfect everyday look, eBay is making sure you get the real deal. With eBay Authenticity Guarantee, you can trust that jaw-dropping piece will always arrive jaw-droppingly real. Ensure your next purchase is the real deal. Visit eBay.com for terms.
This episode is brought to you by State Farm. You might say all kinds of stuff when things go wrong, but these are the words you really need to remember. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. They've got options to fit your unique insurance needs, meaning you can talk to your agent to choose the coverage you need. Have coverage options to protect the things you value most. File a claim right on the State Farm mobile app and even reach a real person when you need to talk to someone. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
he didn't forget about her because she's staying, which ultimately brings us to Charity, who got sent home. Charity and Katie were dressed similarly. They were both wearing like white straight leg pants and like a cute top. Anyway.
Couldn't tell you what Charity was wearing. I just was staring at her face a lot. And she is pretty perfect looking.
She's beautiful. She is also really good at makeup. Like whatever she does, it looks awesome.
Her hair also always looks like perfectly in place. She's like a doll.
Yes, she is like a doll. She looks like porcelain.
Yeah.
It's like a fancy doll.
Yeah. A very, very expensive collectible doll.
I liked her family. They seemed nice. Excited for her.
Loved her family. Her brother was my other standout of the episode.
Handsome guy, Nehemiah.
Well, I mean, clearly they're just a good looking family.
Yeah. They look a lot alike.
But
Charity and Nehemiah.
Yeah. But I just, as someone who has a million brothers, like watching this show, I always like, what would my brothers do? I feel like it'd be real awkward.
Yeah. I mean, my family would never participate in this, ever.
I don't think my mom probably would. My dad would definitely not be on board. I don't know if, I feel like half my brothers would do it. Maybe. I don't even know. But that just reminded me of Ariel. Was it not weird that she said that her brother, was like, do you want me to go beat him up? I was just like,
that's weird. Yeah. Also, we didn't talk enough about the mute third person on the date. Like, was that her brother's girlfriend?
I don't know. It was very disturbing to me.
They didn't even like identify her at any
Introduce
point.
Her?
Yeah. She was just
it can't be her sister. It couldn't have been her sister. Does she even have a sister?
No, I don't think so. Because she talked about how her parents worked really hard for her and her brother and to build this life. It must have been her brother's girlfriend. But like, she didn't even like make a sound. Like she didn't even have like a drink that was clinking. She was just there and completely silent. It was so weird. No one acknowledged her. It was very, very strange.
We gotta get to the bottom of who that was.
Yeah. Tweet at us. Let's identify yourself.
Charity, watching her with her brother, I was just like, I don't think any of my brothers would handle it this way. And I loved her brother was so nice, so sweet, cared about her. Also, I've now decided, we don't have the whole story of what happened with her ex. No. We don't have it all. That's all. All I'm going to say is we don't have it all.
Because everyone's too traumatized by it.
Way that all it was cheating. There's no way.
Maybe he like had a secret child while they were together. What do you think it is? I mean, not to get too dark, but like, do you think it's like
I don't know,
a deeper lie, a more abusive relationship? Like, what do you think it was?
Yeah, I think it had to be something that like completely shook her confidence, and it can't just be like a regular cheating thing. Like, it just can't be.
Mm-hmm. I know everyone.
Yeah, maybe he had a whole family,
double life, catfish.
I don't know, but like every person made sure to be like the last one did not end well, and like her brother even like tearing up over it. I'm like. That we don't have the whole story. Yeah,
I'd love to find out more. And we might because, all right, here comes the spoiler alert. Charity's rumored to be the Bachelorette, being formally announced on Thursday.
Feels like it's a very strong, it's happening rumor.
It's because Reality Steve reported it. That's why it's happening.
No, isn't it? Aren't they announcing it tomorrow?
I don't know if it's going to happen at the Women Tell All or on
Did you see the preview?
Good Morning America. Do they say they're going to bring out the Bachelorette?
It says, Jesse's like, now one of our contestants' life is going to change forever. And he's like walking and he knocks on a green room. And they did say that it was reported that they were either going to do it at the Women Tell All or Good Morning America. And I don't know how they were saying if it happens on Women Tell All, she's going to go on Good Morning America. And if it doesn't happen, then it will be announced on Good Morning America, whatever.
Right. That's on Thursday.
We're like, how confident are you? I feel like I'm like 99.9.
Yeah, it seems like it must be her. If they're doing Women Tell All this week and it's also aligned with this GMA appearance, it seems pretty likely. Which I guess I'd like to know more about Charity. I don't know. She doesn't scream lead to me, but it's just because we haven't gotten we didn't get her side of the story when she with Kat, and in some ways like all we know is that she had like a bad breakup. But I was thinking about it. Like, I don't even know like what would make a good lead anymore. The show needs so much reinvention that maybe there's a plan or something. Are you excited about her?
I'm sure there's
lead?
not. Excited? No. I really want a lead. I mean, okay, it's tough because like my idea of a good lead would have been Gabby. And she wasn't.
I think she would have been good.
A good lead.
Oh,
But-
that Gabby.
Oh, yeah. Gabby Wendy. And I don't think she was a good lead, but I'm also like, was she not a good lead because of Rachel? Not saying it's all Rachel's fault, but like, it just wasn't it was just so hard with 2 bachelorettes. So it makes me question, like, do I have a good radar for a good lead? Because I thought Gabby would be great and she just was like too crazy. But it was also like a contrast with Rachel and having to split the time and not really getting to see her relationships. Like, it just wasn't a good season.
I think if it had been Gabby solo, it would have been good. She would have been goofier. And
That's what I think.
Yeah.
And you would have gotten to see her connections more.
Yeah.
I would have loved Brooklyn.
Brooklyn would have been really fun.
Like, I just think she has that, like, I want like a little bit more personality. I don't want so perfect. Charity is like
Someone who's going to fly off the handle. Like, that's what we're looking for.
Capable of it.
Yeah. Like Hannah Brown. Which, by the way, she won Special Forces. That's insane.
Well, she didn't win, but there was no winner.
Oh.
But yeah, she lasted till the end. It's really bizarre. I thought they were trying to win something, but nope, they just put themselves through that for no reason. But I told you, she was so impressive.
Yeah. It was born
So
out.
was Kenya Moore.
I love Kenya. The first Real Housewives Ultimate Girls trip really won me over with Kenya.
That was the most likable she's ever been. I don't feel anything for her, but Special Forces made me like her a lot more just because, I mean, just watch one episode of it. I just want you to see how crazy the conditions were and the fact that they all got paid in the beginning. So like, they didn't need to stay. They could have left the first day and got the same amount of money. So for someone like Kenya
pride.
or Hannah to like compete for 10 days or I don't even know what it was, 14 days, whatever, 2 weeks in the conditions, doing what they were doing. Like, I'm just like, for what? But it makes me like both of them a lot more. A lot more.
I'm tough on Hannah, but maybe I should.
Think about your favorite leads. They're all like really strong, outgoing, big personality. And I mean, Charity comes across as strong, like even in like her little arguments and stuff, like she handled herself totally fine.
She's very composed.
Like she's perfect. And I just feel like that's really hard to live up to.
Yeah, I agree. I thought they were still trying to like make up for the fact that she didn't get to have her one-on-one in London. Like seemed like she had the longest date with Zach. Like they did an activity in the beginning, then they went to her family, and then they went to the line dancing bar at the end of the night.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, I thought that seemed like another way they were trying to like put her in a position to succeed. Even if she didn't actually have the most time, it just seemed like the most complete day with him. And it seemed like it went well. And then he seemed upset about it, though. He was like really broken up. It didn't, and they were both like, it doesn't make sense. She's like, it doesn't make any sense. And he kind of agreed. He didn't have anything to say back to that. Just a feeling.
Well, that's what I mean. Even us watching it, I was like, no idea who's going home.
Yeah.
He looked the same with every single woman.
I think he should have sent home Gabby. I think that seemed like the least connection to me. That seems the most like a friendship.
I think Ariel.
I just don't understand what's going on there. I think he's really attracted to Ariel because she's really pretty. But
you know who I didn't think?
What?
Neither one of us thought Katie was going home.
No, it's Katie. We know it's Katie.
Yeah.
Zach wants you to know it's not sex week, Callie. Many people think of Fantasy Suites as sex week, but not Zach.
Apparently it is. He has sex with someone.
I like how he just called it sex week. It's like so crass. If he had sex with anyone, it's got to be Katie. There's no way that this guy who's like so conflict averse sleeps with someone and then doesn't pick that person.
I hope.
It's ridiculous. I mean, that would be absolutely against everything I know about Zach.
I was trying to like watch who's crying, but everyone's crying.
Everyone's crying. I think it's, who do you think's final two?
I can see it.
Gabby or Ariel? Gabby,
Ariel.
right? Oh, I think it's Gabby.
I don't know. Her crying seemed very like, I'm done.
Maybe because he wouldn't sleep with her.
Also, I don't know. I could also see Gabby being the one that he sleeps with because I'm like, who would be the most assertive?
They have the most sexual conversation already.
Yeah, that doesn't seem like that. It doesn't seem actually sexual though. It seems more like
that's why I'm saying it's like I'm not saying it's tension. It's more like
seems like locker room.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like locker room talk more than bedroom talk.
Yeah, it's not like hot.
I think, no, it's not hot. But I think that Gabby seems to be like super confident, and I feel like she could be the most assertive in this situation, and Zach maybe couldn't say no. And then afterwards he's like, uh-oh.
If after all this he has sex with someone, it's not the girl he chooses, I don't even know what to say. I kind of hope that happens because it will be entertaining. But I would be shocked. That's a mean thing to say. I'm sorry.
I mean, it would give us content.
It sure would. Can we talk about Love Island now?
Yeah,
playa. Did we talk about movie night last week? I don't think so. I think movie night has happened in between podcasts, if I recall correctly. Or perhaps we saw some of it.
I don't think we talked about it.
Major updates. Ron and Lana are now official, and Ron will not stop calling her his Mrs. It's just like, dude, it makes him seem really immature that he's making such a big deal.
No, Ron is playing the game. Ron is going for gold.
Okay, well.
And you know what sucks? Is Tom is not.
Everyone loves Tom.
I'm like,
wow. Tom seems like a great guy.
Get on your A game, bro.
Get
like,
on
he's
job.
Just like, I don't know. He's like, I found Sammy and I'm cooling. I'm like, no, you have to try to win this shit. Like, you need to like chat with people, make people feel better.
Well,
like he's doing
coasting. A lot for Claudia. What he's doing with Claudia is really sweet. When he said he wanted to marry her because Northerners stick together, he does seem to really like Claudia. Everyone, I like Claudia a lot. I came to like her a lot through movie night. I thought she seemed like a really good friend. And
movie night, I agree with.
She had her head on straight. She was like appropriately telling people to shut up or not shut up. She was comforting people. I thought she was really good.
We don't think that she's overreacting a little bit. Like,
well, she just feels rejected.
Casey,
I mean, Casey sucks. That's my main thing. Is I've always disliked Casey, so I don't
dislike Casey, but I do think that he sucks in this like situation.
He's just he's given me the ick since day one.
I think you just gotta be like he does. I think he really struggled like not wanting to hurt her feelings, but I'm like, you are currently hurting her feelings by doing this.
Yeah.
But I do like even her being like, you have to choose and da-da-da-da. I'm like, you guys haven't been together that long to be acting like this.
She said it's 3 weeks. Is that possible? Has she been in my life that long?
No way. Also, her being so insecure about it, I think was giving him the ick.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm like, what are you insecure about? I mean, I guess like,
Sammy,
whatever. Everyone gets insecure.
Sammy was like,
yeah, you gotta back yourself.
Yeah. Beautiful girl.
Sammy kept trying to like big her up. Like,
Sammy seems like a great friend too.
Every day. Oh my God. Sammy is the best. The best.
I love Sammy too.
Also, I know you watched the episode this morning. In Snog, Marry, Pie, the boys, she got the most pies, I think, Sammy.
Mm-hmm.
But all because it seems like she's really good relationships with the guys. Like the guys all seem to like really like her.
It's not an insult. They all get it.
I can't remember who it was. Someone pied her and was like, she takes the piss out. Casey was like, she takes the piss out of me every chance she gets. And I was like, she just has a good personality. That's what this is all telling me. Not only is she the prettiest, she also has the best personality.
The most stable relationship is Casey and Tom. Those two fucking love each other. It's just like unbelievable.
I don't know. Casey was pissed at Tom tonight.
I mean,
pissed at Tom.
Well,
I think Tom and Will, they have the most stable relationship.
Casey and Tom really like fell hard and fast. They're kind of like the Shaq and Tanya of friendship, and maybe now they're being tested a little bit.
You know who's underrated?
What?
Two underrated people.
Okay,
Sanam and Maxwell. Well, both late additions from Casa. They never get the shine they deserve. But from what we see, they both seem like really good people.
Sanam seems great. Like, just like, as they would say, a really lovely girl. She just wants to be supportive. But then I liked her Snog, Marry, Pie performance. She got a little sassy. Maxwell, I have questions about because I hate Liv so much. So someone to be so into her, I'm just like, what's wrong with you, dude? But I think I agree with that. He's really cute. The boys seem to like him. But Yeah, I just like, I cannot stand Liv. So I don't get it. There's got to be something going on with him. Liv is just
Liv
the
and Tanya
absolute
are my
worst.
least faves.
The worst part of movie night was when Liv was like, let's address the elephant in the room, Ronald. And it's like, no, bitch. Let's make sure Jesse's okay. Let's make sure Sammy's okay.
No, let's talk about your clip.
Yeah.
That's the elephant in the room where you're talking about everybody.
She sucks. Ugh. It's like you're talking shit about all of these people who are like allegedly your friend. And then you're like, you're not my friend. I thought you were my friend.
Yeah.
You're not my friend. And so like, yeah, Ron hates you. Ron hates her as much as I do. That's my favorite thing about Ron.
By the way.
Yeah.
Ron, I know you're a diehard Ron fan, and I have not liked Ron. And I do think he's playing the game, but him not liking Liv has made me like him more.
Yeah. And him being like, I'm not going to apologize. And I actually like how he's approaching it. He's just like staying away from her. Like he could have pied her in the challenge and he didn't. He's just like, he says it's for Lana's sake, but it's probably for his own sake. He's just avoiding her and like, just like not making it a thing.
By the way, so is Kai.
Yeah. They all just like, they hate Liv.
Also, when Liv pied him, I was just like, get a life. Get a life.
I know.
She's like, when you're not
Get
mad enough
over
to
it.
apologize. I was like, Kai is biting his tongue right now. He wants to be like, I have nothing to apologize
And he
for.
doesn't.
I didn't apologize because I don't want to apologize to you. I did nothing
I know.
wrong.
That's the thing. Why does she even want a fake apology? Like, there's nothing for him
Why
to
is
say.
it still a thing?
I know.
He purposely didn't pie her because he's like, I don't want the drama. And she's like, nope, pieing you.
That's her only way for her to get attention because her couple is boring. And she like is also playing the game and trying to like build sympathy for herself. She sucks.
Yeah.
I don't know. I
don't think that, by the way, Casey and Jesse will be going home soon, I feel like. Not going to work.
Casey and Rosie?
Rosie, fuck, yeah. I was like, Jesse's not her name. Casey and Rosie, I don't think it's going to work.
Will and Jesse, I don't know. I think Will's immaturity is really starting to come out.
It's not the same.
It's not. I still like him and he's fun, but I'm just like, oh no, I think Jesse is too good, actually too good for him.
Can I just say,
sure.
Willie Boy has taken me on a roller coaster.
It's been a journey. I still like him a lot, but just not for Jesse.
I love him for television.
Yeah.
And on TikTok last night at like 4 a.m. because I couldn't go to sleep, my body clock's all messed up. There was like a 2-minute highlight reel of James Kennedy. And I was laughing out loud, like out loud. And I was just like, gosh, she is such good TV, which I would love to see a highlight reel of Jax Taylor because I think it'd be the exact same. Just A+ television. But James Kennedy reminded me, I was like, this is Will. Like if we did a highlight reel of Will, it would be very, like him and James have similar energy. They're a little crazy, but a lot of fun to watch. And you really have no idea what you're going to get.
My least favorite thing about Will is how he talks to Jesse when he's like, raises his voice up a little high and he's just like trying to express his feelings. I'm just like, it seems so fake. Will is great TV and I look forward to him being a public figure, but I just hope that Jesse doesn't get hurt. And I'm afraid she's going to.
I also think he is an F-boy. And
Definitely.
I did not think that to be. But I didn't think that to start.
He said he's had sex with 100 women. Do you think that was real?
Also, he's 100% think it's real. The way he
he's
said
23.
it, Juliet, the way he said it was like not in a like he was like, oh God, no, probably like 100.
Yeah, he was like,
it wasn't like
a low
I'm
number.
bragging. Yeah, he wasn't bragging at all. Like he was just like, what are you talking about? 20? What? No, like probably 100. Like he was not whatever. Also in the movie night when they asked how many boners does a guy get in a 24-hour period, he was like 40. Like 40? What is going on over there, Will?
So funny.
What is happening? 40 is insane.
Very sexually charged man, I guess. It's so
But I just
it's so funny.
To start the season off, he was like this like hokey doke farmer. Sheep farmer. I was like, oh, he's probably barely ever been around women. To now where I'm like, oh no, he is like in these streets.
Big
like,
time.
That is a crazy like
he knows exactly what he's
where
doing.
We started.
He knows exactly what he's doing. Yeah. It's so funny because you would think that'd be Tom, but it actually does not seem like it is. Tom
seems so genuine. Also, I saw on on TikTok, I saw two. I saw Zara interview and I saw a Lydia interview. And Lydia was like, I honestly have nothing bad to say about Tom. Like,
wow.
He seems like such a good guy. And she's like, I think he just like really struggled, like in that moment and didn't really know like how to navigate it. But she was like, I don't think he like wanted to hurt my feelings. I could tell that he felt really bad about it.
She sounds like a good person too, based on this. I'm just
Lydia?
like, yeah, I'm like, oh, that's a good response.
Nothing bad to say. Also, she said that the recoupling, like from Casa, she said it was really cold and super, super windy. And it took like 5 hours to film. And so she's like, the girls are standing in their heels for 5 hours with the South African wind like whipping them. She was like, we were all in a really bad mood.
That sounds awful.
So she's like, I think that's partially the reason why like all of us were so pissed, because we were fucking cold and pissed doing
and uncomfortable
it.
in their heels.
And then she's like, and then we all got broken up with. Like, it just wasn't fun. Not one of us, like, you know what I mean? Like, only Sanam made it through and she knew she was making it through. But like, everyone else was like, kind of like, I don't know. And the people that were on the verge all got broken up with. So we were just furious. But yeah, she's like, I really don't have anything bad to say about him. He's great.
Good.
Zara said something similar where she was just like, I think they're all genuine. I think being in there makes you go crazy. And like, once you're out of it and you see what happens, you're just kind of like, wait, what? But she's like, being in there is so intense.
It seems like it. Also, like, all there is to do is talk about each other and be with each other.
Right.
She and Jordan are dating.
Yeah. Love it.
Love it too. It's great. I hope they find happiness. I would have liked to have seen it on screen, but whatever. I'm really worried about getting spoiled. The finale in the UK, I think, is tonight.
Yeah. I mean, after Snog, Marry, Pie, they rate the couples and that like eliminates people. But like, episodes kind of suck from here on out.
I think that Sammy and Tom are going to win.
I think it's going to be Lana and Ron.
Well, I'd be fine with that. But
I hope it can't be Shaq and Tanya, right? It has to be. I mean, honestly, actually, no. If it was my choice, I would like Kai and Sanam to win. I just don't think they will.
Interesting. Sammy and Tom, I think, should win. She just seems so great. I want Sammy to be rewarded. But I also really like Lana. Everyone, Sammy and Lana seem to be the most universally liked. Although, I don't know, most of the girls seem like they're all liked, except for Liv.
My rate of the couples that are left, 1 is Kai and Sanam, 2 is Tom and Sammy, 3 is Ron and Lana, 4 is Shaq and Tanya, 5 is Jesse and Will, and 6 is
Liv and Maxwell.
Liv and Maxwell. I'm not even rating Casey and
Rosie. They were out. Yeah, I agree.
I can't even remember her name.
I bought a Love Island official water bottle with my name on it. It's coming soon.
Congratulations. Welcome.
So excited. I bought it from the Love Island store.
If you watch old episodes, like, I can't wait for you to watch another season.
So here's the deal. I may have said this already, but in the month of May on this podcast, we are going to do a full-on organized rewatch, or for me, a watch of a previous season. So maybe we should have people vote.
Said that. I'm really excited about that.
Well, I don't know your availability for that. We'll have to discuss that offline as well. But
I don't know either, but I would love to. I would rewatch any season. I would particularly like to rewatch 2 because I don't know if I've watched the whole. I don't really remember any of it, and I didn't really watch it. 3, 4, 5, 6. I love them all, but I would rewatch all of them. I watched 5 twice already.
Schedule, just some housekeeping. Finale of The Bachelor is in 2 weeks on March 27th. And then in April, Love is Blind is coming to Netflix. Going to cover that. Then in May, I'm just like, let's just fucking do a Love Island month. Why not? Just go all in. So that's what's happening. And then The Bachelorette starts June 19th. So back to The Bachelor in June. So that's what we're doing. Love is Blind April. And then Love Island May.
I don't know about you, but I do get a lot of DMs about Love Island.
I do as well.
And people have also started watching because of our content on here.
You're welcome, Hulu.
No, you're welcome to those people because we just brought joy into your life.
That's true. That as well. Callie, thank you. You brought joy into my life. We'll put a poll up. People can let us know what season to watch. But we will be back
that's a good idea.
Later this week to talk Women Tell All when we get the official announcement of The Bachelorette. And until then, crack on. Get on job. Thank you to
Lace your grafting boot.
And thanks to our producer, Ashleigh Smith.